The Ace family is back to their old ways, and they have a lot to say, especially Catherine, and people in the comments were for sure noting that. That's for sure. Basically, these two sat down to film a video teasing something big that they have coming up for their fans, since we know they're all about truly caring for their fans.
We share a lot with you guys. A lot of things we don't share.
We share basically everything.
Yeah. Well, this video was all for them to announce that Austin made a documentary because he's been on this boxing journey and he really wants us to know the real story about why he lost that last fight.
It took me 6 months to convince myself that it was okay to share my experience of what happened to me the night of the fight.
Yeah, 2 fights in and he's already got a documentary. Interesting decision for sure, but did we really think that Austin was going to just lose that last fight and take the loss? Nah. People are convinced this documentary is going to be filled with excuses or reasons as to why Gib was able to take Austin down, and is all going to lead up to him probably announcing that he's going to do another fight of some sort. I mean, they were just hinting at it super heavy in this video. They are making it very dramatic, the whole mystery behind what really went down the night of that fight.
Just that day alone, like, nobody knows the truth. Like, nobody knows what happened, nobody knows what was talked about, nobody knows the tears and the yelling and the whole movie. Like, nobody knows what actually happened.
Anyone who experienced what I went through, or would have experienced what I went through, would have
announced it right away.
Spoke about it immediately.
Which I don't even think you were ever gonna speak up about it ever, right? Like, you were, it just so happens that at 6 months now you're deciding to because of what's leading up to what's happening now. But exactly. I don't even think, I remember like when it first happened, you're like, I'm just never gonna talk about it.
People were definitely calling them out for all of this talk about the fight, saying they are really trying to justify the fact that he lost because he was having personal issues. LOL. I feel like they always play the victim. Dude had 2 to 3 amateur fights in 2 years full of scams and scandals, and has the audacity to put out a documentary as if he has 15 years of experience into boxing. Now you want sympathy because you're too proud to take the L because of the hard KO you took from Gib, you silly goof, LMAO. They're doing this just to excuse his loss that day because they can never just lose and move on. And others were calling out the fact that they were just dragging this whole thing out in this video, and the fight happened so long ago, like, why are we bringing this up? This is just ridiculous. Saying, what do you mean no one knows what happened that day of the fight? LMAO, we know you got knocked out. LMAO. I'm trying to understand what they're talking about. We watched the fight, but what is the basis of this conversation? I can't stand the whole saying something without saying it. Too dramatic. People just did not know what the point of this was. Meanwhile, others were calling out Catherine because she was talking about her experience watching Austin fight nearly the whole video, and people were like, I thought this was supposed to be about Austin.
Austin and myself, but Austin, because we're talking about Austin in this video. I've seen it all. I've seen everything. I have put, 110% of my energy onto all of this in so many different ways, in ways that I could never even explain to you guys. A lot of people wouldn't even understand or like believe it. Or, like, I love living in the moment. I love experiencing things. I'm growing and I'm learning every single day. You know what I went through? This documentary is not even about me, and I'm like, can we share my part? I went through a lot.
You did, and I want to thank you so much.
You love me then, you like extra love me now, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, excited.
Yeah,
we like excitement.
For sure.
We like you guys feeling excited. We love that feeling.
But
people in the comments were saying, Catherine, this video was about Austin. You spoke about yourself all the way through it. Okay, Austin crying while Catherine all about herself. Why is she talking for Austin? I feel like these two are just really good at coming up with stuff on the fly in order to pitch their next big whatever they're trying to sell. And Catherine is usually the one doing all of the sales pitch for that, and usually the one talking, and their fans typically eat it up. But these comments were coming for Catherine. People were just like, this is not Catherine's day, especially when Austin was getting emotional about some of the things that they were talking about. And people were asking if Catherine was on multiple energy drinks this day or what? Catherine was definitely here to get her feelings out, and she was certainly making it known, and she wanted to bring up the haters because they love talking about the haters.
I obviously have gone through this for years. This has been a journey that for years and years that we've gone through. Like I started off, you know, years ago caring too much what people thought, and like reading all the comments and getting myself all, you know, flustered and upset, and like he's taught me that, and now I'm in a place now where I don't give a shit. Like, I'm sorry, like I'm not sorry, but I'm sorry. Like, I just don't care.
I feel like this conversation happens every single time these two start to talk about their next business venture, something that they have that's coming up. They always want to talk about their haters and how people always come for them. And they never mention why, though. They never mention why people are skeptical of them or have called them out. It's because you guys have done a lot of stuff in the past. It's not for no reason. But they love to downplay the things that they've been through and the things that they've done, even though lawsuits against them beg to differ. Now, the documentary did end up coming out on Thursday, and Austin decided to tell everybody that the day of the fight, he actually had COVID. And I don't know how they didn't COVID test everyone. Like, I feel like that would have been a thing. But maybe since the Ace family was running the fight, maybe they opted out of that. I'm really not sure. But I don't know how they didn't test the fighters. If they're doing all these medicals before the fight, how would that not be a thing? But anyway, Austin says he has COVID. He's saying that he was lying to the commission, telling them that he was fine, he was okay to fight. Let me just add, he said he didn't know he had COVID until the fight was over. So this was before the fight where he was like lying about feeling okay to the commission. He says that they snuck in a doctor to come and do an IV drip for him, which is not allowed, and that's something that would get him in trouble and the whole fight would be called off. But they snuck this person in to try to get him some fluids, and his team was trying to give him a lot of electrolytes, and I don't know why this is what they showed him drinking, like a Cane's sweet tea. And he says he's not trying to take anything away from Gib and that he deserved his win. But I'm like, you're trying to say that you were so weak and you still fought this fight and Gib won? How is that not taking something away from him? You can't even say he won fair and square. You're saying he only won because I was sick and I couldn't give my 100. And he's trying to play it off like I'm just like so changed and I'm so good. Like the old me would have shared this right after the fight, but I kept it in and I decided to share it now with you guys. Like, why are you even sharing it then? Like, what are we talking about this for? The fight is literally done. We saw you lose. So thanks for informing us that you didn't feel well that day. But like, I mean, what the heck? You're sick. And so you literally went and wanted to infect everybody else? Like, I don't know what to tell you, but this isn't the best look. He said that night the hospital wanted to keep him overnight because he had 104 fever, but he just wanted to go home to his family after the fight. Like, you had COVID and you were just gonna expose your kids like that? Like, I'm just so lost here. And the day after the fight, he posted a YouTube video talking about it and said that when he went to the hospital, the doctors and nurses recognized him and they were like, Austin, what happened? And he was like, you guys didn't see it? Like,
when I got to the hospital, there was a few doctors, a few nurses that knew who I was. They had the nerve to ask me, Austin, what happened? Oh man. And all I could do was laugh. Like, that's all I could do. And I was like, you guys didn't see it? Like, they were like, no, what happened?
Don't you think if they diagnosed him with COVID, they would just know, like, what happened? Plus, I also found this screen recording from Catherine's Snapchat story the day of the fight, and Austin doesn't really look how he does in this documentary, but I don't know. Anyway, this is all leading up to Austin saying that he's going to do another fight. That was, like, the whole purpose of this documentary, besides to make it seem like he didn't actually lose last time because he gave 100. He lost because he was sick. He claims that he is going to be fighting multiple times this year. He's going to be fighting in Europe, and he's not going to be fighting under his company Social Gloves. He says he just wants to be a fighter this time. Interesting. I guess we'll see about that, because I don't really know how much I believe that. But he claims that he's soon going to announce who he's fighting and what company he's fighting under. So we'll see. He ends up saying that this whole thing with the last fight was very traumatic for him, and I mean, he's looking forward to this next fight. He said he did that fight for the fans and this fight is for him. I don't know how they keep coming up with these stories, but I want to know what you guys think about this documentary, what they had to say, and the fact that he's now saying that Gib won. I'm not trying to take anything away from him, but like, by the way, I had COVID, so I don't know what to even think at this point. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.